Have you ever noticed that the things that hurt us the most are not the things that happen to us, but the things we keep thinking about long after they're over? Someone said something hurtful weeks ago, and we are still replaying it. A mistake happened months back, and we are still punishing ourselves. The moment passed, the person moved on, the world kept turning, but we're still standing at that same spot, carrying a weight that no longer exists anywhere except inside our own mind. Today's story is an ancient Zen tale about two monks and a single moment at a river crossing. A moment that lasted only a few seconds for one, but became an endless journey of suffering for the other. This story holds a mirror to how we live our lives every single day. So stay with me until the end, because the lesson hidden in this simple tale might just free you from a burden you didn't even know you were carrying. In the green hills of Japan, where temple bells echoed through cedar forests and morning mist clung to stone pathways, two Zen monks set out on a long journey between monasteries. The first was Tanzan, a broad-shouldered monk with calm eyes and an unhurried stride. He was known among his fellow monks not for how strictly he followed rules, but for how deeply he understood their spirit. He spoke little, laughed easily, and moved through the world as though every step was exactly where he was meant to be. The second was Aikido, younger, sharper, and more careful in everything he did. Aikido kept his robes perfectly folded, his prayers perfectly timed, and his conduct perfectly within the boundaries of every monastic rule he had ever learned. He believed that discipline meant control, and that control meant never bending, never breaking, never straying, not even by a single step. Together, they walked for hours along the narrow country road that wound through rice paddies and bamboo groves. The sky had been dark since morning, and by midday, heavy rain began to fall. The road turned to thick, sticky mud. Their straw sandals sank with every step, and the hem of their robes grew heavy with wet earth. As they came around a bend near a swollen river crossing, they saw a young, beautiful woman standing at the edge of the water. She wore a fine silk kimono, pale blue with white blossoms, and she was clutching it tightly, looking at the rushing muddy water with wide, helpless eyes. The current was strong, the crossing deep, and it was clear she had no way to get to the other side without ruining her clothes, or worse, being swept away. Aikido glanced at her and immediately looked away. He walked straight past without a word. After all, monks were not permitted to touch women. That was the rule. And rules, to Aikido, were sacred walls that must never be crossed. But Tanzan stopped. Without a word, without hesitation, and without the slightest sign of inner conflict, he walked up to the woman, smiled gently, and said, "Come, I will carry you across." Before she could fully respond, he lifted her carefully in his strong arms, stepped into the muddy water, and carried her to the other side. He placed her down softly on dry ground, gave a small nod, and turned back to the road. The woman called out her thanks, but Tanzan had already moved on. His stride was the same as before, steady, calm, unbothered, as though nothing unusual had happened at all. Aikido, however, was frozen in shock. His mouth hung open, his brows pulled tight. He could not believe what he had just witnessed. a monk, a Zen monk, had picked up a woman, a beautiful young woman, and carried her in his arms. He rejoined Tanzan on the road, but he could not bring himself to speak. His mind churned like the muddy river behind them. How could Tanzan do that? Did he not know the rules? Did he not care about his vows? What kind of monk behaves this way? 1 hour passed in silence, then 2, then 3. The rain stopped, the sky cleared, birds returned to the branches. But inside Aikido's mind, there was no clearing. The storm only grew louder. By the time the sun began to set and the 2 monks approached the lodging temple where they would spend the night, Aikido could no longer contain himself. "How could you do that?" he burst out, his voice tight with frustration. "We are monks. We have taken vows. We are not supposed to go near women, especially not young and beautiful ones. It is dangerous. It is forbidden. How could you carry her like that?" Tanzan stopped walking. He turned slowly, looked at Aikido with kind, untroubled eyes, and said quietly, "Brother, I set the woman down at the river hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" Aikido stood still. The words hit him like a bell struck in silence. He opened his mouth, but no reply came. Because in that moment, he understood. Tanzan had carried the woman for a few brief seconds across a stretch of muddy water, and then he had put her down, completely, in body and in mind. He had helped where help was needed, and then he had let go. But Aikido, the one who never touched her, never spoke to her, never even looked at her, had been carrying her in his mind for hours. He had carried her in his judgment, in his outrage, in his rigid attachment to the letter of the law. He had replayed the scene 100 times, weighed it, condemned it, and suffered for it, all while Tanzan walked in peace beside him. The woman had long since gone her way. The river was far behind them. But Aikido had never left that crossing. He had been standing at the riverbank in his thoughts the entire journey. This ancient Zen story carries a truth that most of us live with every single day, but rarely recognize. The heaviest burdens we carry are not physical. They are the thoughts, judgments, and resentments we refuse to let go of. Think about it. How many times have we been like Aikido? Someone hurts us once, but we replay that moment 100 times. A mistake happens in a single second, but we punish ourselves for months. An argument lasts 5 minutes, but the anger lasts 5 years. The event ended long ago, but our mind never left that spot. Tanzan teaches us something beautiful. Do what is right and compassionate in the moment, then let it go. He didn't overthink. He didn't worry about how it looked. He saw someone who needed help. He helped, and he moved on. His hands were empty. His mind was free. But Aikido, the one who followed every rule perfectly, the one who never even touched the woman, he was the one truly trapped. Not by the world outside, but by the world inside his own head. His judgment became heavier than the woman Tanzan carried. His outrage weighed more than the mud on their robes. And this is where the story becomes personal. Because we all carry rivers we crossed long ago. We carry old arguments with people who have already forgotten them. We carry guilt over mistakes that life has already forgiven. We carry resentment toward people who have moved on with their lives, while we stand still, replaying the same scene over and over again. Tanzan's quiet wisdom at the river teaches us 4 things we can all practice starting today. First, Tanzan teaches us to choose compassion over empty rigidity. He did not hide behind rules when a fellow human being stood helpless at the water's edge. He responded to the moment with wisdom and kindness. Tanzan showed us that true spiritual maturity is not about following every rule perfectly on the outside. It is about doing what is right and humane when it truly matters. Second, Tanzan teaches us the art of letting go. He carried the woman for only a few seconds, set her down on dry ground, and walked on without a second thought. He did not replay the moment. He did not question himself. He did not worry about how it looked. Tanzan showed us that when you act with a clean heart, there is nothing left to carry. Third, Tanzan teaches us not to become a prisoner of our own judgment. While Aikido twisted a simple act of kindness into something scandalous inside his own mind, Tanzan never judged, never explained, never defended. He simply lived the moment and moved on. Tanzan showed us that judgment distorts reality and locks us inside a version of events that exists nowhere but in our own heads. Fourth, Tanzan teaches us that inner purity matters far more than outward appearance. His robes were muddy, his arms had carried a stranger, and his conduct broke every letter of the monastic code. Yet his mind was the clearest, his heart the lightest, and his spirit the freest. Tanzan showed us that real discipline is not just about what you show the world, it is about what you carry within. And the truest form of discipline is the freedom to let go of what no longer serves you. Tanzan's hands were empty. His mind was clear. He had nothing to prove and nothing to carry. But Aikido, the one who never broke a single rule, was the one weighed down, not by the world outside, but by the storm inside his own heart. Think about your own life for a moment. How many old arguments are you still carrying with people who have already forgotten them? How many past mistakes are you still punishing yourself for, even though life has already moved on? How many times have you replayed a painful moment over and over again, while the other person sleeps peacefully, completely unaware of your suffering? The lesson is simple but powerful. Do what is right with a clean heart. Help where help is needed, and then let it go. Do not carry yesterday's rain into today's sunshine. Do not let one moment at a river define the rest of your journey. Because the heaviest burdens are never the ones on your back. They are the ones in your mind. So the next time you catch yourself dwelling on an old hurt, a past failure, or someone else's wrongdoing, pause and ask yourself Tanzan's question. I set this down long ago. Why am I still carrying it? Let go. Not because what happened doesn't matter, but because holding on to it hurts only you. The river has passed. The road ahead is yours. Walk it with empty hands and a quiet mind. Now tell me honestly in the comments, what is the one thing from your past that you know you need to put down? If this story touched your heart, please like and share the video.